Marco finally comes back into the story. I didn't miss him as much as I expected to. Is that bad? Don't tell me if that's bad. I don't want to know. I honestly didn't think I was going to like this episode much. This episode consisting in part of Marco going around wearing his Mumin cape, talking about his time on Muni, refusing to move on from that. And it was really annoying. Like, that's obviously how we were supposed to think of it, because that's the reaction that the other characters were having to it, too. But it was annoying even to watch, and kind of turned me off the episode for a little while. However, once he starts his date with Jackie, which was the actual point of this episode, his date with Jackie where he tries to convince her that he's back on Earth 100%, has moved on from his time on Muni, only for her to discover that he's just saying that it's not actually true, and then allowing him to go back to Muni, allowing him to pursue an exchange program in Muni, kind of the same way that Star was an exchange student here on Earth. All of that was really great. It elevated this episode quite a bit for me. It begs the question, though, are they still together, or is this a breakup? Because if they only stayed together for this short a time, I'm going to be kind of disappointed, because I really like Jackie's character. She's excellent. And while she does seem okay with this separation, whatever it is, I'm a little worried that this will lead to her no longer being a regular part of the show, and I don't want that at all. However, this was a really good episode with a lot of strong emotional resonance. A lot of it you have to experience to really get it, so I'm not going to go into huge detail about it here. I don't want to risk spoiling it for anybody who hasn't seen the episode and wants to go back and watch it. Getting an entire episode dedicated to Marco again was a good change of pace, and regardless of the joke that I made at the beginning, I am happy to see him reintroduced to the primary narrative of the story. Even if it does seem like maybe Star and her family don't know that he's reintroduced to the main narrative of the story yet, it definitely seemed at the end like he was gonna spring that on them. Honestly, I hope that's the case, because that could be pretty funny. I am pretty convinced at this point that the show is just going to be this serialized going forward, though. Because here, again, we have yet another episode that had its own story, and had its own ending, and had its own meaning. But also didn't feel like a self-contained episode. It felt like it was just leading into future stuff. And honestly, that's great. This pattern that the series has set at this point is great. This level of serialization, while still managing to fit self-contained stories into the episodes, is excellent. There are other shows on TV right now which could learn from this model. But of course, as per usual, I'd like to know if you have seen this episode, what did you think of it? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord. Link in the description. Either way, this has been AJ22 saying, free the lost.